plenty of good things on sale, stranger. What's your Bryan?
Hello, hello, konnichiwa. Welcome. I'm Bryan,
And I'm Bryan.
and this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 11, Resident Evil 1 through 4 retrospective as part of our Spooktober extravaganza. So, what's up, man? What's new?
Well, my
Uh,
fucking TV broke. That's what's
uh,
new. It
it's funny.
sucks.
It's funny because I know what's new, but yeah, that sucks. Shit. So everyone out there knows, I have Vizios, which are a cheaper brand, and I've never had a TV break. It goes to show you, paying out the ass for that Samsung sometimes ain't what it cracked up to be.
Dude, yeah, I have a Vizio in our bedroom. Just a small little 42 inch. I've had that for almost 10 years. Haven't had a single problem with it. Nothing.
You know what's terrible? Funny story. I've never had a Vizio break, and I hear all these horror stories, but dude, I've had nothing but good experiences with all of my Vizios, and I've had probably 4, 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the first 4K TV I ever got. So super hyped, pretty early adopter, not super early where they're, but fairly early, where like I was pretty much the only person I knew that had a 4K TV. Um, so got it. And then one day I'm playing a game and I noticed something. I thought it was a dead pixel. I was like, what the fuck, dude? A dead pixel on the TV piss you right the fuck off.
Yeah, it
So
bugs the hell out of you.
getting close, playing it, put it on a white screen. Gotta see what this fucker is. What did it happen to be? But this motherfucker had a head, an abdomen, and a thorax. This little motherfucker. It was an ant in my
Wow.
fucking TV, and it was like between the pixel panel and the backlight panel, just smushed in there. So when the backlight gave it silhouette through the pixel, and you could
Mm,
just see him, and once you see that, my eye never went away,
yeah.
and it just fucking pissed me off, dude. I got like a suction cup, and I was trying to wiggle it out, dude. It nothing, and that was very soon after I bought it. I was so disappointed, and so I just had to live with it and be fucking pissed. It was like $1,200 TV, and eventually, like 7, 8 months later, I think it just dried up
Hmm.
enough that it's from all the heat and stuff that it always bothered me, so I was always fucking with it. So I like tapped it one day, and it just kind of crushed away and like uh, flew away like Emotep in the Mummy movies or something.
Wow.
And so it fixed itself. But that's a ridiculous TV story. But that's really the only one I got. Thank goodness.
Yeah, man, I've never had any issues with TVs in the history of owning TVs. This was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, sucks, man. Hopefully they get it fixed for fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Because fuck, nowadays you can get a fucking 4K TV for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it broke, I was already on the internet like, fuck it, dude. What's the next 4K TV? Looking at Vizio. You can find a nice 4K Vizio for like $450 now. So
Yeah.
that's the
Yep.
way it's got to be. It's the way it's got to be.
Yep. Had to TV broke, had to go and get the fucking 82-inch.
I was looking at some 70s.
The fucking Samsung wall or whatever they call that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, so I'm not a very happy Samsung customer at the moment.
Yeah, damn. I've never bought one of their TVs. I exclusively go with Samsung phones.
Yeah.
I think their display technology is amazing, probably the best. But it seems like in order to get that in their TV, you have to buy the highest end one,
Hmm.
and their highest end TVs are fucking expensive as
They're
shit.
pretty expensive.
Like I mean, they got their high end 4K TVs are looking at like 3,000.
Hmm.
Don't even get me started on fucking 8K TVs.
Yeah, right.
Spending fucking $16,000. Anyways, I forgot what the episode was.
Resident Evil.
That's why we don't chat.
Resident Evil.
I
2.
like that shit.
Yeah.
They didn't have that. They put those in like in the remakes, and some people don't like the Resident Evil phrase, but my favorite one, the one I really dug my teeth into in the beginning, was 4, and it starts like that.
Resident Evil 4.
It's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he's right. That is what this is. Fuck me. And
That's
I'm on a GameCube.
That's part of the Resident Evil franchise, man. You gotta have that corny ass
Oh,
intro.
yeah. So let's fucking start at the beginning, little biatch.
Yeah.
Talk about Resident Evil 1, PlayStation. Original PlayStation. I don't know when this game came out. I'm pretty sure
96. if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
that sounds right. Because 2 came out in 98, right?
Yeah.
So number 1 came out in 96. I don't have much experience with 1 at all. I've tried to play it a couple times. Never close to launch because I didn't have a PS1. I fucking hated CDs back then for some. I just had this thing against
Oh
them.
yeah, that's right.
Yep. I remember all my buddies, yes, PlayStation's coming out. It's got CDs. Like, fuck CDs, man. They're going to scratch, you idiots. What's wrong with cartridges? They've worked forever. And the funny thing is, like, I was so adamant about that. And one of my favorite systems I had was a Sega CD. And I never really put 2 and 2 together that I was lobbying so hard against PlayStation for having CDs. And I was like, fuck you, I'm going to play Sega CD. Pop the disc in. But so I tried it a couple times. I fucking don't like it at all. I think the original, we'll talk about the PlayStation release. I think it's fucking campy as shit. I think the dialogue's terrible. I think the controls are fucking terrible. I think the gameplay, as I would come to find out, might be okay later with a remake, but it's borderline unplayable to me on PS1. It's just so fucking, I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know if we got it at launch, but it was definitely, one of those staple games in the household. Like no one had ever seen anything like that before, at least on a console. I mean, even on a PC, I don't think anyone. I mean, I think Alone in the Dark is probably the closest you're going to get before Resident Evil. But yeah, man, like I remember playing it a lot, and I don't think I had any issues with the controls and all that because back then it was kind of like, nowadays it's almost unplayable how it plays, but back then, it was still rough, but it was playable.
It was unplayable back then. I don't know what the fuck you were playing, but that shit was ridiculous.
But yeah, there's moments that stand out, like the dog jumping through the window. I'm sure a lot of Resident Evil fans would agree that was probably one of the scariest moments of early on in the game. I always thought it was weird. What's up?
Is that 1?
That's 1, yeah.
Yeah, that is 1.
So you go through that hallway, but then on your way back, it randomly just jumps to the window. I always thought it was weird that the cutscenes had real actors. I always thought that was cheesy when I was a kid.
Did all the cutscenes? I thought it was just the intro video that did that. Was it like?
Or maybe it was just the intro, yeah. But I remember it being super cheesy and dumb.
The intro video was fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's about as good as the real Resident Evil movie.
Pretty much. What else is there to say? I mean, yeah, I don't think I ever beat it as a kid. I think it's just one of those games I fucked around with. But it wasn't until it wasn't until the GameCube that I really, 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 had a fondness memory playing it as the GameCube version.
Yeah, I remember being aware of it and how it was cool because it's like this horror game, but god damn, it was just so fucking, that game is it's fucking hard. And I think the hardness comes mostly because you're fighting the fuck out of the controls. Some fast ass dog comes on you, barking at your ass, trying to bite you, and you're fucking over here fucking. Oh fuck, wrong way. It's fucking terrible, dude.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it's like, it's not, the spinning isn't like to the camera. Like
Mhm.
this, it's just randomly like north is this way on this screen, but north is this way on this screen. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
And people coming up behind you, everything, they all move kind of fast, even the zombies, uh, in comparison to your spin attack. I was like, oh, I just couldn't handle it. That kept me from playing the remake too for a while. But so the original has no place in my heart, really. I know it's a classic, but fuck, to me, the remake is fucking one because I'm not gonna touch that shit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't have that, you know, it was just one of those games that was in the house you played every now and again, but it
Yeah.
wasn't something I was addicted to.
And so the remake came out for GameCube, 2002, 2003, something like
Yeah, somewhere around there.
that. Remake, pretty much shot for shot remake, but and it was exclusive for the GameCube, the remake. And it fucking, I remember at the time the visuals were just gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a
They went
really good looking game.
because it was pre-res, or what do they call that? Pre-rendered backgrounds in Resident Evil with 3D polygons as the characters. So they redid the 3D characters, and then they completely reshot the pictures that make the environment, and they like did them super, like it wasn't high def, but nothing was high def back then, but it was very high resolution in comparison to the first one. And I remember just it looked fucking good, looked real
Yeah,
good.
that game still looks good to this day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it comes out in, early 2000s, looks gorgeous. It felt like playing a new game, all in general. That was one of the games that really I sucked my teeth into and actually beat. I never beat the first one. Like I said, I just fucked around with the first one. But the GameCube version, I went to like Barnes and Noble and got the manual, like those little books you could get back in the day. Yeah, I loved that game. That game was so good.
Yeah, I knew about it and thought it looked awesome, but I never played it at the
Mm.
time just because my hatred for Resident Evil went so deep for number one, for all of them, because 4 hadn't been released at that point.
Yeah.
So I tried everything they had to offer and I hated it. I thought the story was cool and the zombies were cool, but I just couldn't play them. So I never played 1 till it finally, had the remasters on PS4 and stuff, and I played it on Switch because everyone says it's so great. I'm like, you know what? And then somebody told me who had played it that you don't have to play with those fucking tank controls in the remaster. It's kind of a new stick thing where, like, if you want to go, if you're in a level and you want to go this way, you just point the stick that way instead of fucking this weird, ridiculous shit. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I'll fucking try it. And it was fucking amazing. Loved it. Beat it. Yeah. And it sucks that it took that long for me to be able to enjoy it, with a decent control scheme, because God, it's an awesome game.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to, I don't know if we're moving on, but before we do, I wanted to give a shout out to some neat little tricks they put into that game. So in the GameCube version, you would kill a zombie in a hallway, and obviously in that game you have to backtrack a lot. And
Yeah.
in the PS1 version, when you kill a zombie, go through the door and backtrack, that zombie's gone, right? It's not going to stick around. But in the GameCube, the zombies stay where you killed them. I don't know if this is in the Switch version, but
Was that in the remake? Like, that wasn't in the original? Like, because in the remake you have to burn bodies for them to be gone.
yeah.
That
So
wasn't in the
I
original?
don't remember that in the PS1. But yeah, in the GameCube version, they introduced the body still laying there, and then randomly throughout the game, a hallway you've probably been through multiple times with a zombie that you
Yeah.
killed like an hour ago, it'll just stand up and then just fucking chase you. That was a really
Hi.
really cool addition to the game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
That's scary. Fuck that, assholes.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're low on ammo or some stupid shit is when it's going to happen. Or when you're just
Yeah.
trying to run back to the supply closet to drop off some shit because you need more room, and that's when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Waste your last fucking herb.
I already killed you.
Yeah, because in the PS1 game, you knew when a zombie was dead, right? Because it would show the blood by the head, little
Yeah.
animation, I'm pretty sure. But GameCube didn't do that. I mean, it would show death animations that I think they were slightly varied, but it didn't mean they weren't ever going to get up again.
Mm-hmm.
So it
And
was
I
pretty
think they
cool.
introduced the having a melee knife and having it automatically stab a zombie if it was trying to grab you. I don't remember that being in the first one. Does that happen in the GameCube, or am I just thinking of a different game?
I'm
I
trying
thought
to.
you had like two knives, or you could pick up knives, and then like when a
You
zombie
could,
tried to bite you, you could like stab him, and it wouldn't hurt you, and you'd have a chance to run away. But
yeah,
I could be
it
wrong.
would give you a chance to break their grasp.
Yeah,
But
but it
even
wouldn't kill
then,
him.
yeah, it wouldn't usually kill them, and it was like felt like a waste of a knife.
Mm.
And so yeah, it didn't help much, but that was in there. I've seen some people where it's like beat the whole game with a knife. Fucking bullshit.
Fuck you.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Resident Evil 1. And then 2 came out in 1998 and was immensely better. Just a really good sequel, like fucking Aliens or Terminator 2 style sequel. Really good.
Mm.
But once again, I knew of it. I knew it was cool, but I didn't want to play it because just those controls are so unbearable. I hated Tomb Raider too, so people that played Tomb Raider were okay with that. I guess the PlayStation crowd was like, "Nah, it's how you play a game. You fucking spin and you fucking walk forward."
Yeah,
It's like,
it's pretty bad. Did Metal Gear play that way?
fuck
I
no,
don't
it didn't.
remember. No.
Fuck no, it didn't. Metal Gear was good. Fuck no, it didn't. You're all sneaking around and shit. Dun, 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 dun. Hell no.
Yeah,
guy, see,
Resident.
guy
What's up?
sees you spinning. Wing.
Oh no.
Anyways,
Yeah, Resident Evil 2. To be honest, it was just kind of a repeat for me for the first one in the sense that, we had it, it was around, I kind of fucked around with it, but I didn't love it. I only remember like the first probably hour of that game. Um, yeah, I don't remember. Again, we had it. I fucked around with it as a kid, but didn't beat it or anything.
it was pretty dope because there's two characters just like the first one. But if I remember correctly, the first one, if you choose a different character, it's just the same game pretty much, but one is harder than the other. I
Mm,
think I think Jill is harder because she has less life or can take less hits or something. But it's overall the same exact game, if I'm not mistaken. But two, there's two very different careers you play through. I mean, they're not very different, but they're different, and you're supposed to play them in the right order to get the actual like true story.
mhm.
Because you have to play as Leon first, and then Claire. Is it Claire in the second one? Is that her name?
Yeah, I believe so.
Claire Redfield. Yeah, because she's
Yeah,
looking for
Claire
her
Redfield.
brother. But yeah, because Leon is disc one of Resident Evil 2, and Claire is disc two. So you played in order, Leon, then her, and it gives you the whole story the way it's supposed to be. And that was pretty cool. But once again, I guess just hop into the remake because I don't
Yeah.
care much for the fucking other one. But and the remake is really fucking cool because I was like, okay, I'm gonna play through. I never played much of the game, and then it was so good. Like Resident Evil, oh my god, the story is so good, and those graphics on two remake was like the first one where they took a remake, unlike the first remake, where it's like pretty much the same exact game. It's got those tank controls if you want them, but it's pretty much the same game. They don't fucking overhaul the gameplay and everything. But this one, it's like they took Resident Evil 2 and slapped it in Resident Evil fucking 4's body, like the
Mhm.
controls over the shoulder shit. and it
Yeah.
was just fucking amazing. It made it so much better. And the story was awesome. The graphics on the remake were super fucking awesome. I loved it. Uh, but the being Leon and then playing as Claire, I remember beating it as Leon and loving it. I was like, damn, this is so good. I'm gonna play the Claire. And then it was so different. It surprised me. I was like, dude, I thought I was just gonna like play through the same exact game with
Mhm.
her, but they mirror each other, and then you get more story at the end of hers. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah. I didn't jump into Resident Evil 2 right away. I think I waited a year to play it. Got it on sale on the PlayStation Store, and I kind of stayed away from it because even though there's like hit and misses throughout the series, I mean, meaning like Resident Evil GameCube and Resident Evil 4. I think my issues with Resident Evil personally, just in general, is that they're heavy on puzzles. I fucking hate puzzles in games. I can't stand it. Or like I get lost. I don't know what
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
I get so frustrated. So when Resident Evil 2 came out, everyone started loving it. But I'm like, that's cool that everyone loves it, but I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get lost after 2 hours. I'm gonna get fucking frustrated, and I'm a waste of $60. So I'm not gonna play it again. So I kind of didn't. I kind of sat on it for a year, and then when it was on sale for $20, I jumped into it, and yeah, that game fucking rules. I love that game so much. It wasn't there are puzzles in it, but it wasn't frustrating.
There's a lot of puzzles.
There's a lot of puzzles, but it
Yeah,
wasn't frustrating for me,
yeah.
anyways.
I remember the first time I played through it, I did it no problem. The
Hmm.
puzzles, you know, you have to look up a little bit sometimes, but I never got super stuck. But I bought it for PC to try and play it again, and I'm stuck as fuck. It was like I stopped playing it. I did exactly. Glad it didn't happen the first time. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
I'm to the puzzle where you got to go collect like the clock pieces to get the clock working.
Mm,
Remember, then the clock
yeah.
moves and you get something else. I'm like, that's just too much. I'm like, where the fuck do I go, bro?
Right.
Um, so I'm glad
Yeah,
it didn't
the
happen.
game's gorgeous. It's scary.
Yeah,
It's good.
so good. Um, yeah, that was my game of the year.
Mm.
The year that came out, which I think was 18 or was it 19?
I think it
It,
was. Yeah, I don't remember. 18 or 19. I
but
don't
yeah,
know if it was last year or
that
not.
was easily my game of the year. I think it won IGN's game of the year that year. Somebody's game of the year gave it game of the year, and it was, dude. It was the best fucking game. It was a fucking remake.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. But to call it a remake is kind of downplaying what it fucking is. It's like a whole reimagining, dude.
Hmm.
Totally different yet totally the same. Uh, yeah, not much more to say about two. I don't think it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Super
Play it
awesome.
if you haven't played it.
Yeah, and it's super cheap now. Like you could easily
Yeah.
get it for $20 or less.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure there's a Halloween sale on if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation. I'm sure it'll be on sale at some point. They usually have Halloween sales, but
yeah, it's an amazing looking game too. I mean, and if you have a Pro or a X system, the 4K ones, ooh, that game looks good. So on to Resident Evil 3. Once again, don't have much experience with this. The first one. Did you have the first one at home?
no, I think that broke our cycle because we had the first two. I don't remember owning the third one at all. Maybe we rented it, but
Yeah, I remember
Nemesis.
the third one being very different and controversial at the time. Because the thing is, like I told you, a little story is Resident Evil 3 is not truly Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 is Code Veronica that
Hmm.
they were making for the Dreamcast. And that was being made and it was Resident Evil 3. And the other one was a spin-off. I don't know what it was going to be called, but it was 3 was a spin-off, which is now called Nemesis, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And PlayStation found out about this and found out they were making that one like exclusively for the Dreamcast, which so Dreamcast is going to be the only one to have 3. And yeah, they got pissed. Well, the timeline is getting a little iffy for me because, well, yeah, Dreamcast came out in 1999. PS2 didn't come out till 2001, I think, or 2000. So that's why the timeline was getting iffy for me, because I'm like, why would they make it for Dreamcast when the PS2 is out? You know what I mean? What the hell is this? A gift from Zoom. Apparently, they're trying to put time limits on us now, even though we're only doing a 2-person meeting. But
Weird.
anyways, yeah. But I understand now. PS2 wasn't out, so they didn't want 3 because they had 1 and 2, and they were big sellers. They didn't want 3 to go to Dreamcast and help Sega. So they did some deal like, no, dude, you can't do that. Or they offered them some money, or they threatened them. We're not going to. Anyways, they got Capcom to buckle and put the 3 number onto their game and make the spin-off the Dreamcast game, which was not in actuality how it is. So pretty clever. That's why 3 feels very weird, very different. More action oriented. I've never played Code Veronica, so I don't know how that one actually is. I hope they remake that one, because I'd like to try it. But
Yeah, that one's more in line with the original one, because I had Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, and it was yeah, very early Resident Evil type, not as action oriented.
Yeah, I'd like to try that one in a remake, because that's one I never got. I heard it's good too. A lot of people really like it. It's got a good following, but not many people have played it because it was a Dreamcast exclusive. I think they re-released it on PS2 and stuff. That's a trend we'll find with Resident Evil, is that they have an exclusive, and then they release it on every fucking system later.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sorry, man, it was exclusive for a bit. Come on. But 3 remake is pretty good. I would recommend it. I hear they cut out a lot because it's pretty short. I think it was kind of a cash grab after the big success of 2. They wanted to have a game to come out with. It's pretty short. I wish they wouldn't have cut out so much. I feel like there's a lot of story. Like, they didn't give it the full treatment of 2, where they did it like almost absolutely everything that's in the game is in there. But it looked good. It was action oriented, so it was like kind of better for people like us who don't like puzzles.
Yeah.
So I was like, I never got stuck in that one. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah. I really like 3 a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I like it as much as 2, but I get, like, one of the biggest controversies of 3 remake is that it's a $60 game and it doesn't take you very long to beat, and a lot of people are upset about that. And I totally get that point of view, especially, if you don't have a whole lot of money, you just spent fucking $60 on this game that took you, 4 to 6 hours to beat. But on the other hand, I bought it and I beat it in one playthrough the night, whatever it was, Thursday night at 8. I think I was even texting you that night. But I grabbed a fucking 6-pack of beer and beat the whole thing one sitting, and I had a blast. And I don't know, it was refreshing to like sit down and beat a game, start to finish, instead of stopping. Oh shit, I'll get to it next week, and you pop back in. You're like, oh yeah, what was the controls? What was I doing again? Yeah. So it was kind of refreshing to sit down and beat it in one go. It was really fun.
Yeah, I didn't regret spending $60 on it.
Yeah, neither did I.
At all. And I almost, no, it wasn't one. I was going to say, it was one of those games that I bought and then didn't end up really playing and beating until after it had gone down in price. But no, I think I beat that one pretty early on. Because I was going to say, even at that point, if they lowered the price and I spent $60 on it, I was still happy with it. But that didn't happen. But that's just showing you. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. It's worth $60. And now, like I said, you get that one again for probably pretty cheap, I'd imagine. Used, GameStop, whatever you got to do. Local Craigslist crackhead.
Yep.
Trying to get a fix. get that game, bro. So what did you... It felt like the game was a lot easier.
Yeah.
2. I remember coming to that first boss, or I don't know if it was the first boss fight, but one of the boss fights with Nemesis, and you're fighting it's like on the roofs, and there's those two
Oh
things you
yeah.
gotta run around. I was expecting that to be hard when
Mm-hmm.
you fight him, and every time you fight him, he's like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the game, oh yeah, and he doesn't chase you the whole game like he does in 3. Like in 3, he's always like this ominous character, like following you and shit, right? Like the guy in number 2, I forget his name, that
Yeah.
always was following you around. But this one is just scripted parts that he'll be in. Because I remember seeing some playthrough of the original 3, and that they're just trying to play the game, and then that fucking Nemesis comes out and starts tentacling you, and just like he's unstoppable almost.
Yeah.
Well, it pretty much is. You can just slow him down. And it wasn't like that. The first boss battle, I was like, oh, fuck me, man. But then I was like, oh, this is fucking easy. Just run
Mhm.
around and fucking shoot him from afar, and he doesn't do much.
Yeah, I don't think I died very often in 3 from what I remember. But I also think I played it on easy, if I remember right. So I kind of breezed through it. That's probably why I beat it so in one sitting.
Yeah, I played 2 and 3 on easy. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to. Easy is the new normal.
For
feels
Resident Evil, it is.
it feels like, dude, it's just too fucking hard and too scarce of bullets, dude.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong. It's like you go up to medium, but then like you'll get to a boss and you'll have absolutely no ammo, and you can't go back. You can't like redo anything. It's that's where you're at. I've been in those situations. You load up a game save, you got 4 bullets, and guess what? Boom, boss battle starting.
Yeah.
Good
You're
luck,
fucked.
bitch.
Yep.
Good luck. But where's I going with that? Um, um, so yeah, three was pretty good. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was pretty easy. And then that one fight near the end, where like I can't remember. It's like Nemesis. It's like you're on a riverfront kind of area. Remember,
Oh
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's
It's
like a
like
bridge.
going around on the buildings in a circle or whatever.
Yeah, that part. But there's like a sky bridge thing before that, right? Or some kind
Yeah.
of walkway it attacks you, and I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be a terribly hard boss battle. No.
Nope.
Yeah, that building part was kind of. I was making it harder than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked up what you're supposed to do. I'm like, oh, what? It's
Like,
pretty
oh,
fucking easy.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a fucking roller coaster of a game, I would highly recommend 3. I think I remember texting you when I was playing it early on. I was like, this feels like the Terminator, man. It feels like this force you can't stop that keeps, running into you, and, obviously the female protagonist. And I don't know, it just felt very Terminator-ish in the first like couple hours of the game. Or first
Yeah.
hour rather.
And then I actually think this one looked slightly better than the Resident Evil 2 remake as far as graphic department. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's just because I played it most recently, but I felt like it was just slightly more polished and
Yeah.
better looking stuff. Because like when you first start and you're like walking down the street with like all the fucking like signs and shit going,
Hmm.
the neon signs, and it's wet and shit, and it's, dude, it looks so good. And then when
Yeah.
you get down into the subway, I was like, damn, the subway looks good, dude.
Hmm.
I feel like
Cutscenes.
I feel like I need a token just to get in here.
I'm gonna
Like,
ride that subway.
I should have a wristband. Should have a freedom pass. But yeah, so that brings us to the coup du jour, the soup of the day, if you will.
Mhm.
Resident Evil 4. This is where I started because I hadn't played a Resident Evil game really. Like I tried them, I didn't play them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is the first one I really played, and it was GameCube, 2005, I think, or 2004, one of those two. And it was exclusive, and I had a GameCube like early on in GameCube's life, and so I really liked it. But there wasn't many exclusives, other than Nintendo games like the Mario type stuff, and even those were kind of few and far between. It like GameCube didn't have a lot of good exclusives. Like they had like one Mario game the whole life of the console. You know what I mean? No Donkey Kong game really that I can remember. The
I
Star
think
Fox,
so.
the Star Fox game was fucking weird,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you're not even in the ship. So they didn't have much that I wanted to play. So Resident Evil 4 was exclusive, and I got hyped up about it because everyone's talking about the new camera system and how better it is and how it's like a real action game over the shoulder. So it's like, fuck yeah, about time. And played it, fucking loved it. It's just one of those games that I remember it was like senior year. It's like, not, can't wait to get out of school and go play Resident Evil and just um, and the story and it is so cool of like those games you can't put down. I'll just play till one more typewriter in this game, I guess, one more save,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to another save, and next thing you know, you're fucking 6 typewriters into this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I had it too, and the hype. I think back then IGN gave it like a 9.5 or something. So I remember being pretty hyped about it. Yeah, the new camera system hadn't been done before. The first like 45 minutes of this game is like perfection. You going through this
Yeah,
village, you have all
I
these
forgot to
villagers
say
kind of chasing you, and
they're not zombies this time too, which is
mhm,
kind of very interesting for the time. Not like zombies.
yeah. And I love that like you get put in this village, um, and you have all these villagers like chasing you, and you can't kill them all. The game has like an internal clock that's ticking down. You have to basically survive until the cutscene happens. So I thought it was kind of funny. You're like running from building to building. You can jump out windows in this game. There's like a little cool little cutscene animation where you jump out of a window, and yeah, that whole village scene was great.
Yeah, I love that part. Like when you first walk in the village and the guy says, huh? Compadostano! And then
Yeah.
that musical cue comes in,
Hmm.
and it just starts filling up, dude. That's fucking awesome.
And then yeah, on top of all of that, you have your first encounter with the fucking chainsaw man. It's
Mm,
just like, oh my god, he's just the guy with a paper bag over his head coming at you. It's just it's an intense game.
yeah.
I started to play it this weekend. I just played like the first 20 minutes or so, but I really want to play all of it because I actually never beat it. When I had it on GameCube, I got as
Fucking
far
kidding me.
as when you rescue Ashley and then you're stuck with her and you have to do kind of a
Yeah.
you rescue type stuff in games, and I kind of fell off the map back when I was in high school. But so it'd be nice to actually beat the game because I feel like that was pretty far into the game, but I could be wrong. I never beat it, so I
Yeah,
don't know. But
that's pretty far. Dude, you gotta beat it. But yeah, I understand that part gets tedious and
mhm,
shitty when you gotta protect her the whole fucking time.
yeah,
But yeah, gotta beat it. There's some cool boss battles at the end there with that fucking little kid weirdo.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they do. Hello, Leon.
yeah. Little
Ashley.
English looking motherfucker with tall socks.
Yeah. It's just such a cliche story. The president's daughter was kidnapped,
Hmm.
but it didn't feel like it, when you're playing the game. It just feels good. I
Yeah,
don't know how to explain it, but
I like the troll fight, the big ass
oh fuck yeah.
Cyclops fight. It was fucking badass.
I mean, yeah, and then graphically at the time, GameCube was kind of, you know, it was above PS2 in graphics, not Xbox quality, but this game looked fucking amazing. It looked
Hmm.
so good for when it came out. And I
Yeah,
remember that being a good bragging point if you had a GameCube to show this game off. Like, look at this shit, the foliage and all the shit. Um, so yeah, it was a fucking amazing game, and it was later released for PS2. Like I said, Resident Evil exclusives are never really exclusives. They always
yeah.
fucking fuck you over. I think they realized because Resident Evil had kind of simmered down after 3, wasn't the hype anymore, but
Hmm.
people ate this game up, and I think Capcom was like, "Oh shit, we're fucking leaving lots of money on the table by not making this game on PS2, which was the most popular system of the generation. And just shows you how good or how optimized it was. Like they truly meant this to be a GameCube exclusive, because once they released it on PS2, it significantly looks worse. Like it looks like shit on PS2. It's like, don't play that version. If you get any opportunity to play the GameCube or the new HD port, the new HD port, I have some gripes with too, but because it's I don't remember. I think it's something about the frame rate. It's like 60 FPS now, but it was made to be 30, and they never upped the FPS of the like animation of the gun and the laser. So if you'll notice, if you're playing the reboot 4, like the lasers kind of, it's just very bouncy and jittery. Oh, because I think it's supposed to be 30 FPS, so it just slightly sways, like like your hands moving a little bit. But when they bump it up double, it's like moving. And I remember, it's not, doesn't make the game terrible, and it's very playable, but I just remember being like, damn, why is this motherfucker swaying like I'm just fucking my
You're drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 was fucking amazing. Super classic. Still might be my favorite one. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear they're remaking that one next. So we'll see how that works.
I don't know, because at that point you have to remake it exactly the same, because it's like super beloved, and it didn't. They already has a HD version, so what are you gonna do? I mean, if they make it as pretty as Resident Evil 3 and 2 remake, then fuck yeah, I guess I'll want to play it again. But it's not one I feel like I need to, because the graphics were already good. The gameplay was already good. It's not like it needed a redo of the camera perspective. So yeah, I don't get why they would do that one first. Like I said, I want Code Veronica.
Code Veronica would be my vote, because I mean, yeah, I agree with all the things you like. It's that Resident Evil is still playable. You can still get it in different consoles, and it's perfect the way it is. Where Code Veronica still has those clunky, blocky controls, and not as many people have played it. So it would be a better choice to kind of remake that one and show people how great that game is.
And you know what they could do? I was just thinking that'd be pretty cool. They could call it Resident Evil 3 Code Veronica. So then you have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and Resident Evil 3 Code Veronica. That'd be kind of dope. Kind of bring back the 3 moniker to it. Do something.
Yeah, that'd be kick-ass. But nope, they're doing 4, so we'll see. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm gonna play it. So, but
yeah. But yeah, it's just like, I've bought that game so many times. Fuck, am I ready to spend $60 on it again? But so 1 through 4, what's your favorite one?
I think overall, 2 remake is probably my favorite out of all of them.
That's a good choice, but it is wrong. No, I think you're probably right. I think 2 remake is probably my favorite too. It's so good. But 4 has the nostalgia factor of liking it.
Yeah.
Before I liked 2, you know what I mean? Like I never liked 2. I would never pick normal 2 over 4 by any means ever. Yeah. But the remake was awesome. So who knows? Maybe a remake of 4 will put it above 2 again. So
yeah, we'll see what they add. I mean, maybe they can add it to make it better than it already is. We'll see what they have up their sleeve. I mean, worst case scenario, they just polish up the game and then you just get the same thing. But we'll see if they have any tricks up their sleeves.
Yeah, but when is it going to come out? Like, will this be a next gen game? Because if it's next gen, ooh, it could look awesome.
Yeah.
Do you imagine? So I think they already did like a PC Resident Evil 4 mod where it's all HD textures, and it looks fucking crazy. It looks awesome.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be next gen. It's still a work in progress.
yeah, that'd be
So
dope.
yeah, it's got to be PS5, Xbox Series X.
Dope.
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 Probably after whatever. What are they on now? 9, 8.
8. 8 looks pretty cool.
Once 8 comes out, then I imagine it'll be pretty close after that.
We talked a little bit about 8. I think that looks pretty cool. They're
It
always
looks
trying
wild, man.
to
It looks fucking wild.
reinvent something.
Yeah.
Werewolves now.
Hmm.
It's like fuck, that's pretty cool.
Some
7 was
witchcraft.
yeah, 7 was good. It was scary. It looks like this one ties into 7 somehow. Like you're like the same guy from 7. This
Mm.
new protagonist. I've already forgot his name, but you see Chris Redfield at the end of 7, but then in this trailer for 8, you see Chris Redfield come in and he's like, "Oh, Chris," thinking he's coming to help him, and then the girl from 7 that you're searching for the whole time, your wife, or I think it's your wife, Chris Redfield just kills her in front of you. I was like, what? Why? It's
Yeah.
like, so some crazy shit going on. Looks pretty
Looks
dope.
pretty insane. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, it gave me some like village type vibes too, with the like
Hmm.
group of like occultists
Yeah.
or whatever it was. It looked pretty cool. So I'm pretty hyped on that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to be a third person or first person.
Yeah, it did. It showed some first person stuff though, didn't it?
I don't remember.
But you couldn't tell if it was like a cutscene.
Yeah.
I think they're still going with first person, is what I heard. Because 7 was
Nice.
pretty popular. It does make it a little more spooky when you can't
Mhm.
see like behind you and stuff at all. I hope this one supports like VR again.
Mhm.
Because playing 7 in VR, like I told you, was absolutely the scariest thing I've ever fucking done. So
Yeah.
fucking scary. Like I had to stop. I was like, nah, this is too fucking scary. It's not worth it.
Mhm.
Like give you anxiety, man. So I hope they do that again because I'll take one for the team and be scared shitless.
To do a fucking video.
Yeah. The mask on.
Ah!
It's so hard. It's so hard to convey that on video though.
Yeah.
Like it displays on the TV. Like I could film. I've thought about doing some VR videos. I don't know, or maybe put the camera behind me or something over here so you can kind of see me playing, and the camera would see the TV. So you and I'll turn and you'll see it turn. You'll see what I'm seeing, but it's not the same. Like you'll understand my reactions because you'll see what's happening in my vision, but it's so hard to convey on video, like what it's like to be in there and how different it is, how scary it is, or cool it is. Like I was just telling you, like I was playing that X-Wing game and you're in the fucking
Mm.
X-Wing. It's fucking
Yeah.
insane, dude. So cool looking.
That reminds me of a video I just saw recently. It's like probably one of the like what is that app called? The TikTok or whatever, like quick little videos. And it's this woman, and the caption is, "The moment I realized my husband was a psychopath or whatever." And you see her go down the hallway and enter the living room, and you see the TV screen, and you see her husband with the VR set with the controls, and he's just going like this. And you look at it pans over the TV, and he's just smashing some guy's face into the wall over and over and over. It's fucking hilarious.
Uh, that's funny.
But yeah, Resident Evil, man.
Yeah. So those are our favorites. Retrospective. We just decided to do 1 through 4 because there's a lot of them now, and you didn't have too much experience with 5, 6, 7. I do. I mean, they kind of go downhill from 4.
Yeah.
5 5 was pretty good. It was okay. Very action oriented. Like this the funny meme about Chris is just fucking jacked. They just made him look like a ridiculous
Hmm.
look like a Gears of War dude.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you have to fucking break a boulder. It's like you gotta smash the button and he's punching a fucking boulder until it fucking breaks. It's so ridiculous. But the reason it was cool is because the whole game is playable in co-op, and there's a second character, Shiva, I think her name is. But you could play the whole game in co-op, or you can do it by yourself if you want, which gets a little difficult because AI never quite does what you think they're going to do or what you want them to.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's why that one was cool. And 6 was just a fucking dumpster fire.
That's what I heard.
Six has like fucking 5 different stories you can play as, like Leon, Chris. All of them are pretty shitty. I remember Leon's is kind of cool. Like for the time, I got it at launch for PS3, but the graphics were pretty good. So it was like cool to see Leon again, and the graphics looked good, but it was fucking terrible. I think it's worth a playthrough if you like the lore and stuff, but especially now because you can get it for like fucking $7 or something stupid cheap. But yeah, that one could maybe use a remake. Somehow make it somehow make it good. I don't know if that's even possible, but worth a try. And then 7 back to form. 7's real good.
Yeah,
Scary,
7's really good.
good story, good cool characters with the weird zombie redneck family type of thing, like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, 7 was really good. Another game I need to beat. I should probably just start from the beginning again. I got to the point where you're on spoilers, I guess. I got to the point where you encounter a boat. Yeah, that's kind of where I dipped out, but
yeah, you find some secrets out on the boat. I'm not going to say anything because I remember. You probably wouldn't remember, but you get some revelations on the boat of what's going on and like what's happening to this chick. Why do they want this chick?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So that's our episode 11, Resident Evil. Very cool series. The puzzle-laden fucking zombie fest. Right on. Well, yeah. Play some Resident Evil, guys, for Halloween.
Yeah.
We'll come back. Yeah, sorry the video was a little late too, guys. Because we stayed up till 4 a.m. having a digital party on Saturday, and I guess nobody really wanted to do this on Sunday. But we got it in.
Yeah.
It was fun, no regrets. So yeah, and I think how many more weekends we got in October? 2 more? Maybe?
We have one more because I think when we film on Sundays it'll be the 1st. So we have next weekend, and then the weekend after that will be November 1st.
Well,
so we gotta push all of our horror film related stuff next weekend. An extravaganza.
Damn. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Maybe just a fucking sit down horror talk.
Yeah. Games, movies, just whatever we want.
Broad topics. It'll just be an old fashioned talk fest. Okay. But yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it's late. We won't do that to you too often. I promise. Okay. As always, good chatting with you, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys for watching. Appreciate it. We do it because we enjoy the things we talk about. We hope you enjoy joining in the conversation. So y'all have a good night. Laters, man.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Later.